All right, our third and final email.
Oh, God, you're getting geared up. Is it happening?
No, hold on. This is not, no. This is just as good.
Okay, all right.
What up, bitches and snitches? It's your old pal, buddy, friend, amigo, compadre, and Freund. Ultimate one here, checking in for this week. So let's slide, slippity slide. If you're living in the city, it's do or die. So come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. All right. This week, in lieu of Fünf Fragen, I got some good old WCW Fünf Was-Ifs.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm excited about it.
It's 5 what-ifs.
Oh, okay.
Was ist wenn? I think I might have said it wrong. Anyway, fuck it.
Nailed it.
No fact check.
Nailed it.
1. What if WCW survived, meaning Bischoff manages to buy it and AOL Time Warner doesn't give it the axe?
Mm-hmm. I think it turns into TNA. I think Jeff Jarrett's influence and Vince Russo's influence. Now, that's not to say it wouldn't have been awesome, because then on the platform of TNT, the X division isn't seen on Fox Sports regional, whatever. It's seen on TNT. So then the AJ Styles, the Samoa Joes, the Christopher Daniels get skyrocketed to the moon. I think it, but eventually I think.
Do you
Jeff
think it always
Jarrett
plays noticeable second fiddle to WWF?
Yeah. I don't think
WWE,
there's
whatever.
Now, but maybe, right? Because AJ Styles, when Kurt Angle left WWE, it wasn't because of competition. It was because he was burnt out at WWE. If there was WCW and Kurt Angle goes to WCW, that's a way bigger move than TNA. So, the main event Mafia, if that's still a thing in WCW, that's on a bigger platform than TNA. But I don't think, I think then Vince does guess what? Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels are now a tag team. They not only reunited, now they're active wrestlers, something like that to combat it.
Well, remember, these are all WCW Fünf Was ist wenn, right? 5 what-ifs for WCW. So 2.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that feels right. It's so hard to know because 20 years have passed or whatever, and yes, I think it was so bad. When I do these Spanish Announce Time Machine things, and we talked about in this one WCW 2000, if you go and you see the buy rates for these things, they were tanking hard. So yes, he bought it, but he would have had to rebuild it. And we've talked about, you said it would have been TNA. A problem we have with TNA, Impact, whatever, is this, what the fuck are you guys? You guys have been 17 things over your lifetime. That's the same thing that would have been happening in WCW. It was world-class championship wrestling, and then it was, this guy owned it, and this guy owned it, and then it was the Saturday night, and then it was Nitro, and then it would have been Bischoff's thing, and then he would have got tired of it and probably sold it, and it would have been somebody else. And I just think it would have had that Impact stink. I think it exists today in Impact Wrestling. I think AEW's come along and given us what we had then with this viable alternative that's on primetime main event where it's hot new and it doesn't feel like some rerun thing, but I think it just kind of exists as Impact Wrestling now.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. 2, what if Hogan doesn't leave the company even after Russo's promo at Bash at the Beach 2000?
Oh, I still think he retires. I don't think he gets reinvigorated at WrestleMania 18 with The Rock and does that second little stint. I think if he stays in WCW, he gets more, I don't give a shit. Maybe then he starts doing...
He was running the show there. He had all that fucking creative control.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Whatever the hell he wanted, yeah.
I think if he doesn't leave in 2000, then he just goes I'm done with pro wrestling. And then we kind of think of him different because that, 2003 run that he had at WrestleMania 18 and, the match at WrestleMania 19 with Vince McMahon, which is a personal favorite of mine, that little run from 18 to 19 reinvigorated hey, Hulk Hogan isn't that bad. If that never happens, then we just go meh.
Yeah, true that. 3, what if the then WCW / New Japan partnership actually elevated New Japan and gave it the same level of exposure they have today? I don't know that this Japan wrestling on United States television is ever really going to take hold. Now, I could be wrong because of growing demographics in the United States now, right? I mean, population has grown.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot larger numbers of folks that may be into it, right? So there's going to be a market for it, right? The sheer number of people warrants like what we see. But I don't think it's ever going to be rise to the level of even what an AEW's at.
Yeah, I think the emergence of New Japan Pro Wrestling wasn't because of the Japanese pro wrestlers. And that's not to say that Okada's not great or Evil's not great or Naito. I think all of those guys are amazing. But I think what catapulted New Japan Pro Wrestling into that, hey, let's check out Wrestle Kingdom 9 and all of that stuff was Finn Balor, the Bullet Club, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and who am I mentioning here? North Americans. I know that some of them are Canadian, but these are American, I'm doing air quotes, but these are not Japanese pro wrestlers that are getting elevated. I think that's what got them to superstardom, not necessarily their own talent, homegrown talent. So if WCW and New Japan continues their relationship, I think it goes much of the same way as it did before, where it's like, well, that was cool, but I don't care that Ric Flair is wrestling Naito this week or, whatever it is.
Same thing. If they do it right now, if AEW and New Japan work together, like it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to be like, oh, look, here's somebody that like I've maybe heard the name, seen once. They're going to wrestle Kenny Omega. I'm going to be like, that person did an awesome match. But then they're gone. And I'm not going to chase them to New Japan because it's just not going to happen.
And TNA tried this a couple times. TNA did a special Japanese show where it was, I believe, Kurt Angle as champion taking on Tanahashi.
Were they the ones that always did that like world tournament where they had like people from all over the world? Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it would be a good feature. Like, that's nice and neat, but I don't think it elevates New Japan to what they were without WCW.
I think they bank on too many casual fans might have traits of hardcore fans, right? I think they think like hardcore fans love the Japan stuff. Let's introduce that to the casual fans. Casual fans like this. What is this? I have no clue what the fuck this is.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm into a story, and this was a great 10-minute match, but in 2 weeks, I'm not going to remember it.
Right. I don't remember that guy's name. You keep saying it, and I don't remember it. Number 4. What if WCW actually had a women's division? That's a really broad question. I don't know what to say to that.
If my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass when he hopped. All right.
Yeah, So, like, if they had a women's division, I think it would have been cool. One thing that gets lost, and you had mentioned this about Bayley and Sasha Banks bringing women's pro wrestling to the forefront of changing it from bra and panties to actually respectable pro wrestling women's matches. They were a huge part of that. The 4 Horsewomen are definitely iconic in that regard. But let's not forget that Gail Kim was doing that in TNA. ODB was doing that in TNA.
Yeah.
There were women matches that were happening at this kind of rate before the 4 Horsewomen got into WWE.
Well, that's what I mean with them, and we're going off this offshoot on WCW, but back to them was like, yeah, they were big. The 4 Horsewomen were big, and that's what everybody focused in on, and that was during the time of change. There are tons of women who could have been in that PC that are athletic freaks that have some personality that could have been in that role. Nobody said, we're changing women's wrestling because you got to check out this girl Charlotte and what she's doing, and you can't dress her up in a bra and panties. No, she's too legitimate, so change the sport. They were the players in place when the sport was changing, right? We'll call it quote unquote sport, but you know what I mean? That's what I mean by that. And so you back to this, like if there was a women's division, we would have got more great women's wrestling, but I don't know if they had the best storytelling
to get
in that
over.
regard. Like the NWO took WCW by storm, but I don't know if there was a whole lot of great writing and storytelling going on in WCW. You know what I mean? Everything else was kind of shit.
Yeah, it
and
was like
even the
it was
NWO storytelling was kind of shit.
Yeah, it was NWO, Sting, DDP, Booker T, Goldberg, and then
Well, there was never any real stories. It was just like, we're fighting now, NWO, and like they spray painted him. Now, all right, well, I'm going to beat him up, and now we're finally going to team up against the NWO. I mean, that was the gist of most of it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, 5, final one. What if Chris Jericho had joined the New World Order? I don't know that it would have been a good fit, especially then.
He would have been another guy. He would have been the non-flexing Buff Bagwell.
Buff Bagwell. Yeah, he'd have been Scott Norton, Buff Bagwell. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he would have just been in the background.
Yep. That was all centered around 3 guys that had 600 people behind them. It was the Outsiders and Hulk Hogan, and then Macho Man as a psycho, which I will still die on this hill. Macho Man joining the NWO was the biggest mistake in the NWO storytelling. It was Macho Man who took the fucking leg drop from Hogan. What he should have, as much as Sting, who got duped by the fake Sting, and I love that storyline. Like I said, the War Games to Stargate is one of the best storylines of all time. But Macho Man should have also been on the front lines of fuck this entity, fuck the NWO. I'm here. My only purpose, I will die making sure that the NWO burns to the ground. Once he joined the NWO, in my book, that's when they jumped the shark. And that's when it became like, oh, then just anyone fucking does it. Cool.
Plus just the feud, the Hogan Macho feud, like it all fit too well to just be,
Yeah, and it made no sense why there was always this friction in the NWO between Macho Man and Hogan, which I guess on the surface level made sense, but then it just muddied the waters of like, well, do I like Macho Man or do I not? Because he's beating up Hogan, who I don't like, but then he is also beating up WCW guys who I also don't like. So what the fuck are we doing here? Yeah, I was out. I was not interested after Macho Man joined the NWO. I was like, that's enough for me.
As always, keep doing what yous guys doing, because yous guys do it so well. Ultimate out.
That was great. It was
P.S.
God.
I would have sent $1, but this COVID-19 is forcing me to improve my German through Duolingo. But I got you on the next go round.
No, you said it. I got a message that said you would send $1. I'll find it.
I felt like you said this before.
Yeah, I got a message that said, I'll send $1 this time. Hold on.
What he's referencing there is, we would like you to send us $1 if you like this episode and you want to support this podcast. $1 is nothing to you. And you go to SpanishAnnounceTable.net, you click on the donate link right at the top. It says donate. You click there, it takes you right to our PayPal. You just $1. Or if you feel like more, great. But if you like this, show us some love. Send us $1. What's a Snickers bar to you, right?
Ultimate One, I've got the dirt on you. I got the messages, pal. You owe us $1. Actually, you owe us $2 now for lying. $2.
Look at the transcripts.
Yeah, we got the transcripts. We want $2 now for interest.
Google saves everything, Ultimate One. You fucked up. Google saves everything, Ultimate One. Oh, we've got the you owe us like at least $17 now.
Yeah, look at this. I'm going to show it real quick if you're watching the YouTube. Boop, there it is.
Oh. Somebody's going to pause that and secrets are out. Secrets are out.